percentage of profit. The selling price of dozen pencils is rupees 13.8. Then what is the cost price of the pencil? So this is the question, and while reading the question, I'd suggest you guys to give your 100% concentration on the question. The reason is very simple, guys. If you miss even a single part of the question or even a little bit of information that is being conveyed in the question, then you are invariably going to arrive at the wrong answer. So you have to make sure when reading the question, you're reading it with 100% concentration, or in other words, you don't miss anything when you're reading the question. Okay, it is very important that you do that. 98 percentage of the error that students make is because they misunderstand the question. They understand the question uh, wrongly. They don't understand it in a right, using the right perspective. They don't use, they see it in a different way than what it is described. So you have to make sure you understand it as it is given or as it is intended by the author or the person who uh, drafted this question. Anyway, now you can understand only 2%. The rest of the 2% is calculation mistakes that people usually make. So you can understand how important it is to read the question correctly, or I should say understand the question correctly. So the given information is, so let us just type down the given information. Given, very important, just take down the given and then you start analyzing it. So what is given is, uh, it is given that there is 15% profit. So profit percentage is given. So what 15 percentage is the profit percentage. The selling price of dozen pencils is 13.80. So a selling price of 12 pencils are given. What is a dozen? A dozen is 12. Selling price. Now, if you listen to my lectures or listen to Profit and Loss part 1, you would know that cost price increased 15% will give me selling price. So this is how I want you to understand this question. So what is given here, guys? What is given here is that we have 15% profit percentage. So that is what is given. So what does it mean? It means you increase the cost price by this 15%, you will get the selling price. So that is the meaning of 15% profit percentage. We've gone over this before. Okay, whenever you get this, that you have this 15 percentage profit. Okay, now what you do is you understand that you increase cost price by 15% and then you get the selling price. So this is the meaning of 15% profit percentage. What if it is 15% loss percentage? You will have to decrease cost price. Okay, this is no longer increased. If it is loss percentage, you will have to decrease cost price by that percentage. Whatever that percentage is mentioned, you will get the selling price. Now we've already learned this. We are going to apply this because we're applying this, guys. We make things simple. Okay, so I'm going to write it again. So make sure that you watch this carefully. Given profit percentage, which is equal to 15%, and given SP of 12 pencils, which is equal to 13.80. Now you know cost price increased from 1 and 2. What do you know? From the first given and the second given, you know cost price increased 15 percentage gives you selling price. So this is what you can get from the first and the second given. Now what you guys can do is, now how do you increase the cost price by 15 percentage? And you know the method for that also, right? How do you increase the cost price by 15 percentage? Is this cost price into 115 divided by 100. Okay, this is, you are trying to, what are you trying to do? You are trying to increase cost price by 15 percentage. How do you increase the number by 15 percentage? Multiply it by 115 by 100. So multiply cost price by 115 by 100 to increase cost price by 15 percentage. 100 plus R by 100, remember it? Yes, so that is what we are doing here. Now what we'll do is cost price into 1. If you increase cost price by 15 percentage, guys, you will get selling price, right? So what happens? So you know that selling price of 12 pencils is 13.80. So what I'll do here is, I'll do this thing will equal 13.80. Okay, so cost price increase 15 percentage will give me selling price. This is not just any cost price, this is cost price of 12 pencils. Okay, this is cost price of 12 pencils. Now cost price of 12 pencils, you solve for this. What will happen is, you can say that cost price of 12 pencils will be equal to 1380 divided by 115, and which is nothing but 12. So if cost price of 12 pencils is 12, what they are asking in the question is, guys, what is the cost price of a pencil? So what they want is one pencil, right? So the cost price of one pencil will be 1 rupees. And this is your final answer. A man sold a horse at a loss of 7%. Had he been able to sell it at a gain of 9%, it would have fetched rupees 64 more than it did. What was the cost price? Now again, guys, write down what is given, because it is going to tell you what you have to do next. So by writing down the given, what is the first given? It says a man sold a horse at a loss of 7%. Okay. Now he sells it at a loss of 7%. So we write loss of 7%. And had he been able to sell it at a gain of 9%, it would have fetched rupees 64 more than it did. What does this more than it did mean? Rupees 64 more than it did means, had he sold at a gain of 9%, see, by selling at a loss of 7%, he would get some amount, right? Yes. Similarly, by selling at a gain of 9%, he will get some amount. Now you subtract this and this. Now you subtract gain of 9% and loss of 7%. This amount and this amount, you will get 64. That is the meaning that they are trying to convey here. So what happens here is, we should say gain of 9% minus loss of 7% is equal to 64. Okay, so or gain when he is selling at 9% minus selling at 7%, that is actually 74. Okay, so you could say when he is this I can change it like this, right? When he is selling at gain of 9%. Again, He is selling at loss of 7%. So you can see both this and this are selling prices. Okay, this and this are selling prices. Now, how do we find selling prices, guys? You already know a method. We just now completed a problem in it. Okay, so I'm going to complete it. Okay, now how do we do it? How do we find selling price? Cost price increase. Now it is very similar to what we did in the first problem. Now you have to find selling price. Now you know selling price is cost price increased or decreased something will give you selling price. Yes, we just saw this in the previous problem. Cost price here increased 9%. Yes, because this is selling price at a gain. So here cost price will be increased at 9%. Here it will be cost price which is decreased 7%. Okay, so this is where you have to be very careful. This will be equal to 64. Here you have to understand that this is cost price that is increased 9% because your selling price will always be greater in the profit, right? So you'll have to make sure your selling price becomes greater than cost price. So you have to increase cost price by 9%. Now you do that, you will get the selling price at gain percentage at 9%. Now selling at loss of 7%, what it means is this selling price will be less than the cost price. To make it less, what should you do? You should decrease the cost price by 7%. Yes, so you have to decrease the cost price by 7%. Guys, you have to understand both this and this are selling prices. Okay, so just because there is a cost price over here, don't think it is cost price. Both this and this are selling prices. We get the selling prices by doing what? By increasing and decreasing the cost price by a certain percentage, and that depends upon the gain percentage and this loss percentage. Okay, so yes, so we'll the next step is to just solve it. You will get the answer. CP into, how do you increase a number by 9%? 109 by 100, correct? Minus CP into, how do you decrease a number by 7%? It is 93 by 100 is equal to 64. So take CP outside. Take CP outside. You will get CP is common in both the terms. If you have a close look, you can see CP and CP here are common. So you can take the CP outside. And what will be left with is 109 by 100 minus 93 by 100. This again will give you CP 16 by 100 is equal to 64. Is equal to 64. So if you solve this, guys, you will get cost price to be 400. Yes, so you can say that the cost price was 400 and we completed what we set out to achieve. We wanted to find out the cost price and we did that. Mati purchased a Walkman from a friend. She then sold it for rupees 90. Had it been sold for rupees 105, the gain would have been 1/4 of the former loss. What is the cost price of the Walkman? So again, we are going to find the cost price. But here, let's write down the given so that we'll have a understanding of what is given. So what is given is, so Mati purchased a Walkman from a friend. She then sold it for rupees 90. Now guys, she sells it for rupees 90. So what is this 90? 90 is selling price. So SP is 90. Okay, selling price is 90. Okay, had it been sold for rupees 105, the gain would have been 1 by 4th of the former loss. What does it say? When she is selling at 90, she is actually getting a loss, right? When she is selling at 90, she is actually getting a loss. So that is what they mean when they say, had it been sold for 105, the gain would have been 1 by 4th of the former loss. See, what is former loss means? When she sold it at 90. So when she sold it at 90, she is getting a loss. Okay. So that one thing you have to understand it right away. Now, so what is this 105? This 105, guys, is also selling price. Okay, this 105, as you know, is also nothing but the selling price. So what we'll do is we'll take it to be selling price is equal to 105. But what is the difference between this and the 90 that we know? By selling it at 105, she is getting a profit or gain. So yes, so how do we know she's getting a gain? Just look at the statement. Had it been sold for 105, the gain would have been. Yes, so this tells us that by selling it at 105, she's getting a gain. Now you just have to use this statement and form the equation, guys, and you are good to go. You will get the answer very easily. So what does the statement say? The gain would have been 1 by 4th of the former loss. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to take gain is equal to 1 by 4th of loss. Very simple, right? So this statement says that the gain would have been 1 by 4th of the former loss or 1 by 4th of the loss. So I just say gain is equal to 1 by 4th of loss. You guys know that the formula for gain is what? SP minus CP, correct? Here, what is the CP when she is gaining? It is 105. So I'll do like this, 105. Okay. Now is equal to 1 by 4 of the loss. What is loss? How do you calculate loss? Loss is done by CP minus SP. So I'll do CP minus SP. So what is the selling price when she is selling at a loss? You know that is 90. So what I'll do is I'll substitute 90 here. Right? Because you guys know it is selling price, right? Okay, so I'll choose 90 here and okay, so I'll substitute 90 here, and what will happen is just solve it, you get CP, guys. So you can see there is just CP is the unknown variable here. You can just solve it. If you solve it, I guess you get 420 minus CP will be equal to CP minus 90. CP minus 90. So the next step is let's just shuffle it around. You will get this is 4 CP. So you just shuffle it around, you will get 5 CP is equal to 510. So your CP will be equal to 102. So there you have your answer, which is 102. Now I could just say, see, if he is selling for 105, what is his gain? His gain will be like 3 rupees. Yes. Now what was his loss, guys? If he's selling at 90, it is 12. Now you can see gain is 1 by 4th of the loss, right? Because his gain is 3, his loss is 12 rupees. So this satisfies. So this is the answer. Atul bought a machine for rupees 4,50,000 and sold it to Irfan at a profit. Irfan later sold the machine to Danish at a loss of 10% for rupees 4,95,000. The profit percentage earned by Atul is when Atul is trying to sell it, it is Atul's selling price, right? Atul selling price is equal to Irfan's cost price. Am I right? Because from Atul, Irfan is buying. Okay, so Atul sold it to Irfan. Okay, so you can see Atul sold it to Irfan. So what it says is, now Irfan's, Atul's SP is equal to Irfan's CP. Now what does Irfan say? But and it also says Atul sold the machine for rupees 4,50,000. Sorry, Atul bought a machine for 4,50,000 and sold it to Irfan at a profit, which we are going to find. But that is Irfan CP. Okay, when Atul is trying to sell it to Irfan, Irfan is trying to buy it, so it is Irfan CP. Now, Irfan later sold the machine to Danish at a loss of 10% for 4,95,000. So, we know Irfan's selling price. So, that one thing we know, which is Irfan's selling price. So, we can say Irfan SP is equal to Danish CP. So, Irfan's SP is equal to Danish CP. So, but we also know what it is. So, which is equal to 4,95,000. This is 4,95,000, and this is nothing but Irfan's SP. This is Irfan's SP, and therefore it is Danish's CP. Now, in the question, guys, what we are asked to find is, we are asked to find the profit percentage earned by Atul. Now, you know that cost price for Atul. You just have to find the selling price for Atul. Or in other words, you have to find this. You have to find this Atul's selling price. You just have to find this. If you find this, because you already have the cost price. Using these two things, what you can find? You can find the profit percentage. So, we at the outset, what we try to do is to find, our aim is to find Atul's SP. Now, Irfan's selling price is 4,95,000, guys, but it says at a loss of, he sells it at a loss of 10%. So, what does it mean? So, if you remember our teaching, okay, it means Irfan's CP decreased 10% will give me SP. What is SP? SP is 4,95,000. So this is how we find Irfan's CP, because we know Irfan later sold the machine to Danish at a loss of 10% for 4,95,000. So we know this. Okay, so we know this, that he sells it at a loss of 10% for 4,95,000. So obviously this is Irfan's SP. Now Irfan's CP must be greater than this. Yes, Irfan's CP should be greater than this, right? Why is it greater than this? If it is Irfan's CP is greater, because it is a loss transaction. You always know in a loss transaction, CP is greater than SP. Okay, so Irfan's CP is greater than this. Now, how do you find Irfan's CP? You take Irfan's CP and decrease it by 10%, you will get 4,95,000. It is as simple as that. Okay, where this is the SP, we know that. What is 4,95,000? This is Irfan's SP. 4,95,000 is Irfan SP. So Irfan's CP, to find Irfan's CP, decrease Irfan's CP by 10%, you will get 4,95,000. You just have to do the rest of the things correct. Now, so what we do is Irfan CP. How do you decrease Irfan CP by 10%? You have to multiply it by 90 by 100. 100 minus R by 100. Check out the formula in the previous slides if you are having confusion with this. This yields, when you decrease Irfan CP by 100, when you decrease Irfan CP by 10%, what do you get, guys? You get 4,00,000 95,000. So your Irfan CP will be equal to 5,50,000. So this is Irfan's CP. This is Irfan's CP. So we just write it as Irfan's CP. Okay. So Irfan's CP is 5,50,000. Now we know Irfan CP is equal to what? Just look at this first statement. Irfan CP is equal to Atul's SP. Remember, we set out to find this. We wanted this, and we have found it in terms of Irfan CP. So Atul's SP is nothing but Irfan's CP. So Atul's SP is 5,50,000. So this is also not only Irfan's CP. This is also Atul's SP. So what we'll do is use this to take this problem forward. This is Atul's SP. So right now we have Atul's CP and SP. Using that, we'll find the profit percentage. So you know, how do you find the profit percentage, guys? So Atul's CP is given, okay, and Atul's SP is also given, okay. Now how do you find profit percentage? You just have to find the increase percentage. Remember, profit percentage is same as the increase percentage. So you just have to find the increase percentage between this and this, okay. So in other words, you have to find the increase percentage between 4,50,000 and 5,50,000. You just have to find the increase percentage. So how do you find the increase percentage? Difference by base into 100. So difference is nothing but it is 1 lakh by base into 100. So we'll write base, you guys know, is the number which is getting increased. Yes, so for finding increase percentage, base will be the number which is getting increased. So into 100. So S into 100. So this will give you 22.22%. Cost price of 8 articles is equal to selling price of 10 articles. Find the profit percentage or loss percentage. Now I'm going to tell you how to do these kinds of problems, guys. Very simple. I have a shortcut for this. If you find problems like this, just apply the shortcut. You will get answers within seconds. Now it says cost price of 8 articles is equal to selling price of 10 articles. So what we'll do is, so we'll take cost price of 8 articles, selling price of 10 articles. Now guys, usually when cost price is the same as selling price, what happens? There is no profit and no loss. Here also the cost price is same as the selling price. If you see, look at this. So what does it say? Cost price of 8 articles is equal to selling price of 10 articles. So what does it mean? It means cost price and the selling price are the same. Okay. But still they say we have profit percentage or loss percentage. How is that possible? Usually when cost price and selling price are the same, we have no profit nor loss. And if you've seen my previous article, you already know the answer for this. The reason is pretty simple. It is because of 8, 10. We don't have equal quantities. 8 and 10 are not equal. If this was 10 and 10, then cost price and selling price will be equal. But that is not the case. We have unequal quantities. Where here we have 8 and here we have 10. That is why we get a profit or loss. Okay, so what are we getting? We'll find out. cost price of 8 articles is equal to selling price of 10 articles. Buying quantity minus selling quantity divided by selling quantity into 100. This is the formula that you use for all these types of problems. So make sure that you remember this formula, because this is the formula that you're going to use for all these types of problems. So here I'm going to put a bracket. So this comes in the numerator and the rest of it, this comes in the denominator. So this is numerator and this is denominator into 100. So you just substitute the values, you get the answer, guys. See, what is buying quantity? Cost price is buying, right? So cost buying quantity is actually this 8. This is buying quantity. This is selling quantity. So if I write it, I'll write it like 8 minus 10 divided by 10 into 100. So this in turn is like 8 minus 10 is minus 2. Yes, so this is minus 1 by 5, which will give me minus 20 percentage. So what does this minus indicate, guys? That this minus indicates that this guy is getting a loss. That is what it says. This formula will always give you percentages. When the percentage is positive, we have a profit. When the percentage is negative, we have loss. A woman sold 15 bed sheets for rupees 15,000, hence gaining 5 bed sheets cost price. The cost per sheet is. So you have to. So let us write down what is given. What is given is a woman sold 15 bed sheets for 15,000. It means SP of 15 BS means bed sheets is equal to 15,000. So this is what it means. Hence gaining 5 bed sheets cost price. So what is that 5 bed sheets cost price? That is a gain. Okay, it is a gain by selling 15 bed sheets. Gain by selling 15 bed sheets is equal to cost price of 5 bed sheets. Okay, so this is what is given. And you need to find cost per sheet, or in other words, you have to find cost price of one sheet. Here we have cost price of 5 bed sheets. You have to find cost price of one sheet. So to find cost price of one bed sheet, this is here to find. So there is nothing difficult in this. Just look at this second given. So it says gain by selling 15 bed sheets. What is the formula for gain? Gain is nothing but selling price minus cost price. So instead of gain by selling 15 bed sheets, I'll write selling price of 15 bed sheets minus cost price of 15 bed sheets is equal to what? Is equal to, you just take this and put it over here. What is here? What do you have here? You have cost price of 5 bed sheets, right? So just take that and put it over here. So what I'll do is I'll do cost price of 5 bed sheets. CP of 5 bed sheets. So you just have, already know the value of this, right? Guys, what is the value of this? They already given it to be 15,000. So just substitute the value of 15,000 here. You will get 15,000 minus cost price of this just goes the other side. This is equal to, if this goes to the other side, what will happen, guys? So it will become plus cost price of 15 bed sheets. What is cost price of 5 bed sheets plus cost price of 15 bed sheets? It is nothing but cost price of 20 bed sheets, right? Cost price of 20 bed sheets. Now, how do you get cost price of one bed sheet? Just bring this 20 down, okay, or bring it this side. So you will get 15,000 divided by 20 will be equal to cost price of one bed sheet, which is nothing but 750 rupees. So you get 750 as the cost price of one bed sheet. Let's see what happens in a ration shop. In a ration shop, the shopkeeper claims to sell at SP. So make sure that you pay close attention to this. He claims to sell at SP. So his claim is he is selling at cost price. Guys, if somebody is selling at cost price, what does it mean? It means that he is, we could say he's altruistic, or he has very noble, he has a noble heart. He is very generous. We could say all those things, right? If he is not trying to make a profit, looking after people's welfare and selling it at cost price, it means he's not making a profit. That is what he's trying to say. Okay, the ration shopkeeper says he is selling at cost price, or in other words, what he is saying is he is not making any profit. That is his claim. But we'll see if his claim holds good. Okay. Now, sells 800 grams of sugar by using a weight of 500 grams. See, this is where the claim part is being like doubtful. This claim, you doubt this claim, right? Because he uses 500 grams weight, but marked wrongly as 800 grams. See, the shopkeeper knows it is 500 grams weight, but the buyer sees it as how much? He sees it as 800 grams weight only, because on the top of the weight it is marked 800. So he just believes it blindly. That is how we usually do it, right? We don't go and check the weighing scale in every, we just trust them. So this is where he is trying to cheat us. The ration shopkeeper is trying to cheat the buyer. So obviously you think, finally, okay, so he is marked wrongly as 800 grams to deceive customers. Yes, we know to deceive the customers he is doing it. Now, what is this profit or loss percentage? See, just by understanding this question alone, you must be able to say it is profit percentage. Your answer is going to be profit percentage. Okay. See, this, what is his profit or loss percentage? What does his mean? It means we are talking about the ration shopkeeper. Just a minute, guys. So it means the ration shopkeeper. We are talking about the ration shopkeeper. That is his. So his, see, he will obviously, he why is he doing this? He is doing this for profit, right? So he is going to get profit. Okay, but how much is it? That is what we are going to find. So let's first try to put down the givens. So first the givens. So the given is shopkeeper claims to sell at CP. So at least he tries to say, what he tries to say is selling price of 800 grams is equal to cost price of 800 grams. Guys, this is what he's trying to say. This is his claim. If this was true, will you get any profit or loss? we've already seen when the quantity is like this, when the quantities are equal, okay, when the quantities are equal, 800 and 800, and selling price and cost price are equal, it means no profit, no loss. Yes, if both the selling price and cost price are equal, quantities are also equal. What does it mean? It means there is no profit and no loss. So definitely he is not doing this. Okay, definitely he is not giving away his product at cost price. Okay, so that is why he's cheating, right? So this given could be written as how I'm going to change this. Okay, I'm going to change this. You're going to look at how I'm going to change this. Okay, so watch carefully. Now look at this. Look at how I'm changing this. Now you guys. So we'll see what the value of SP and CP of. We'll see how the quantity changes. Okay. Now guys, now you have to like think very rationally. Okay, I mean not the rational and ration shopkeeper. Okay, logical. I mean logically, you have to think very logically here. Now see what is the rupees that he is getting. He is actually getting rupees 800 here. Yes, the shopkeeper, how much rupees is he getting? So let us suppose 1 gram costs 1 rupee. So I am going to like give you like this. I'm going to give you like 1 gram cost price of 1 gram is equal to rupees 1. So this is what I am giving you. Now what does it mean if the cost price of 1 grams rupees 1, cost price of 800 grams will be rupees 800. So selling price of 800 grams also will be rupees 800. Okay, that is what he is claiming. So he is claiming the cost price of rupees 800 grams is rupees 800. So I will also mark it here. So I will also write here, I'll write 800 rupees. Okay. Say, what does he claim? He also claims that the selling price is also 800. So this is what he is claiming. So that is why this first equation came about. Okay, he says his cost price is 800. He is giving away at the same price. Okay, he is giving at the same price. So his selling price also becomes 800. Now, but we know, we and the shopkeeper knows, he is not actually giving you 800 grams. How much is he actually giving? He is actually giving you 500 grams. Yes, did you notice that? So his cost price, guys, is actually not 800. Okay, his cost price is actually what? Yes, his cost price is actually 500. Okay, so if you guys have a look at this, so I'll mark it like this. So you can mark it like this. His cost price is actually 500. It is not at all 800. So if you look at this, you can clearly see his cost price is actually this and not 500. Okay, so his cost price is 500, but his selling price is what? His selling price is 800. Okay, so this is where you can see the profit comes. Yes, so because his cost price now is less than the selling price. What happens when cost price is less and selling price is more? We get a profit, right? So you understand the problem right now? Yes, here what we are trying to give is he is not selling at, sorry, his cost price is not actually 800 as he wants us to believe. Okay, he wants us to believe that his cost price is 800, but his cost price is what? His cost price is actually 500 and his selling price is 800. Yes, he sells it for 800, but his cost price is actually 500. This is how he makes the profit. Now, how do we write this imbalance using this equation? How do we write this or portray this imbalance using this equation? Okay, see here his he gives this 800, he actually sells this 800. Okay, so how do you write this? He now actually he sells this 800 for 500 grams, correct? For 500 grams he actually he fixes a price of 800 rupees for what? 500 grams, correct? So he fixes a price of 800 rupees. What is 800 rupees? 800 rupees is the cost price of 800 grams. Okay, so the cost price of 800 grams, he is fixing it to what? He is fixing it as the selling price of 500 grams, correct guys? Cost price of 800 grams, he is fixing it as the selling price of 500 grams. Okay, so this is how you frame the equation. Okay, so the cost price of 800 grams, which is 800. What is the cost price of 800 grams, guys? It is rupees 800, right? So this, he is fixing it as the selling price of 500 grams, because of for 500 grams, how much is the buyer paying? For 500 grams, buyer is paying 800 rupees. So the selling price of 500 grams is equal to 800. So, or selling price of 500 grams is equal to cost price of 800. Okay, so once you know this, you know the formula. Yes, to get the profit percentage, guys, you already know the formula. Okay, I've already given the formula. Anyways, I'll write it. We'll just it is buying quantity minus selling quantity divided by selling quantity into 100. So what is buying quantity here, guys? It is CP 800. Yes, so 800 minus 500 divided by 500 into 100. So this will give me 3 by 5th of 100, which is 60 percentage. So his profit percentage is, guys, 60 percentage. So he is making a profit of 60 percentage. Okay. Now this could also be done a little different. Okay, so I want you to get all the perspectives so that you know what to do. Now guys, tell me, what is the cost price? I told you the actual cost price. Okay, what is the actual? See, he wants us to believe that it is 800, but actual cost price is 500. So the cost price is 500, selling price is 800, correct? What should you find? You should find the profit percentage. How do you find the profit percentage using these two things? Increase 500 by, so 500 is how much increased? If you increase 500 by how much percentage will it give you? 800. That is my, that ends up being the question, right? So you have to find the increase percentage. You have to find the increase percentage between 500 to 800. How do you find the increase percentage, guys? So increase percentage is equal to, it is the same thing. Whatever you did here, you will do it again. Yes, you agree with me? The same thing you will do. Yes, increase percentage. So I'm just giving a different perspective. So you can just cut, copy, paste the same thing. Okay, copy, paste. Okay, not paste. So you can just do the same thing. You will get the correct answer. Divided by 500 into 100 is equal to 60 percentage. So I hope you understood. So this is for you to pause the video, time to pause the video, work out this problem using the methods that I've taught you, and then come back to check your answer. At Krishna Sweet Shop, they sell at CP. So our given as cost price is equal to selling price. So it is of the same type we know already. CP is equal to SP. The attending boy tries to weigh 250 grams of Mysore pa. Unfortunately, due to machine error, it shows 100 grams and therefore he bills for 100 grams only. What is his profit percentage or loss percentage? So again, you have to try to understand this, guys. So 250 grams is what is in the box. If you get a Mysore, if you got Mysore from Sri Krishna Sweets, you know, you see a box, right? It weighs 250 grams. Okay, but That is actual weight. Okay. But what happens here is he there is a fault in the machine. Okay, because of that, the digital machine, right? It is no longer analog, it is digital. The digital machine shows it is 100 grams. So what happens is he bills for 100 grams, but he is given 250 grams out. Okay, so you can see the amount that he is, the cost price is actually of his cost price will be, you write it like this, he let us once again assume rupees 1 gram cost rupees 1, so that will make it easy for you. Okay, so let us suppose 1 gram cost price of CP of 1 gram is equal to rupees 1. So if CP of 1 gram is equal to rupees 1, then cost price of 2 grams, what is CP of 250 grams? CP of 250 grams is equal to rupees 250. So this is the actual cost that is incurred by the sweet shop. This is their cost for the sale. Okay, but how much do they sell it for? Yes, they sell SP of, okay, they sell it at SP of 250 grams. Okay, so at least that is what they think. Okay, the SP selling price of 250 grams becomes rupees 100. They sell it for rupees 100 because they bill only for 100 grams, right? Yes, so SP of 250 grams becomes rupees 100. Okay, so you can see that the selling price is less than the cost price, guys, with just this information alone. Okay, just this information is sufficient for you to find it, right? So there is going to be loss. What is the percentage of loss? You just have to find the decrease percentage. From 250 to 100, what is the decrease percentage? But I also want you to understand it in unequal quantity formula. Okay, so you usually write formulas like cost price of 8 articles is equal to cost selling price of 10 articles, right? So I want you to write in that way also. So we'll also look at a second method. So that method you already know it, but I just want you guys to do it in a different way also. So the second method is, now you will have to write it as something as something. Okay, so you're going to write it as cost price of something will be equal to selling price of something. Okay, some grams. Okay, so how do you write it? So where does 250 grams go? Where does 100 grams go? Okay, so for that also we'll be using this method only. Okay, so we'll be, guys, see, actually here what is happening is this 250 rupees. Okay, this 250 rupees. So I'd say the cost price of 250 grams. Okay, what is this rupees 100, guys? What is this rupees 100? This is nothing but, if you write it in terms of cost price, how can you write? If you try to write this 100, okay, in terms of cost price, how can you write? See, in terms of selling price, it is selling price of 250 grams, that you know, okay, from previous statement. But in terms of cost price, how will you write? Cost price, in terms of cost price, this will be cost price of 100 grams, right? So you have it here, the selling price of 250 grams is equal to cost price of 100 grams. So what will I write here? So I will write cost price of 100 grams is equal to selling price of 250 grams. So again, how do we apply the formula? You know, buying quantity minus selling quantity. So 100 minus 250 divided by the selling quantity, which is 250, into 100. Now you can see this is the same as finding the decrease percentage of 250 and 100. Okay, how do you find the decrease percentage of 250 and 100? Okay, you will find the difference, right? So you will find the difference, which is 150. So you will get 150 here. Okay, so if you do 100 minus 250, you'll get 150. Divided by base will be, this will be the base. Because while finding decrease percentage, you'll take the number which is getting decreased. So you see the decrease base into 100. So you see decreasing this by the decrease percentage, decreasing cost price by the decrease percentage, and this method, second method, both are the same. This is what we saw in the previous problem also. Okay, but I just want to make sure you understand how all this works out. So finally we've come to this 150 by 250, guys, which is I guess 150 by 250 is 3 by 5. So 3 by 5 of 100 will give you 60 percentage, but this time it is a negative 60 percentage, or there is a loss of 60 percentage. So this is a negative 60 percentage. So the negative sign indicates that there is a loss of 60 percentage. So this is a shortcut again for when two items are sold at the same price rupees X, at one at a profit of Z percentage, another at a loss of Z percentage. So you can clearly see here we are selling two items at the same price. The selling price is the same. Okay. Now the selling price is the same, and one at a profit of Z percentage and other at a loss of Z percentage. Okay. Now always in this type of transaction, okay, you have to, again you have to understand, guys, the loss percentage and profit percentage, how are they are the same. So loss percentage, profit percentage are the same, the selling price is also the same, then we can use the formula. Okay, so this is the formula that we can use to find. The first one is to find percentage, the percentage loss. Okay, so this is percentage loss. This is to find percentage loss. This is to find the value of the loss, the actual value of how much amount is being lost, right? The value of loss is what. But one thing is sure, that we are getting loss. Okay, in this type of transaction, we are surely getting a loss. Now, when two items are sold at the same cost price, here it is selling price, right? What if the two items are sold in the same cost price, and one item is, let's say one item is sold at Z percentage, at the profit of Z percentage, and other item is sold at a loss of Z percentage. What do you think will happen when two items are sold at the same cost price? Okay, the cost price is the same. One is sold at a profit of Z percentage, the other is sold at a loss of Z percentage. In that situation, there will be no profit, no loss. Okay, so that is why we don't have a formula for that. Okay, so in this situation, we have an overall loss percentage, which is indicated by this formula Z square by 100, and the value will be 2Z square X by 100 square minus Z square. So yes, so you have it. So when two items have the same cost price and sold at a profit of Z percentage and the other at a loss of Z percentage, then there will be no profit and no loss. This is a sample example, guys. You can see, just substitute the values, you'll get the answer. You can see this is X. This 20 is what? 20 is Z. Just substitute in the value, okay? You'll get the answer, and you can also double check the answer. The answer is actually a loss of rupees 66667. So just work it out and you should get this answer. So if you're getting this answer, we'll move on to the next one. On a festival season, a shopkeeper increases his products the rate of 35% and gives two discounts of 10% and 15% respectively. What percentage, profit percentage or loss percentage will the shopkeeper get at the end? So it says it's a festival season. A shopkeeper increases his products at rate of 35% and gives two discounts of 10% and 15%. You have to try to understand what is happening here, guys. See, shopkeeper increases his products. Okay, so what is given is increases products. Okay, so what? So we'll take number of products. What does products mean? It means number of products, right? So number of products. He increases the number of products, so number of products will take, and gives two discounts of 10% and 15%. It means he's reducing the price. So price of the product, right? So price of product. Okay. So these are the two variables that we are working with. One is number of products, the other one is price of the products. And you guys know this number of products into price of the product will give you the resultant sales. Okay. Now what he is doing is, now he is applying a 35% increase here. Okay, so here I'll write it as 35% increase. Okay, this is nothing but 35% increase. Here what he is applying is, he is applying two discounts of 10% and 15%. So what you have here is, you have 10% and what you have here is 15%. But these two things are discounts. So 10% and 15% and 10% are discounts. Okay, so this is a increase. Okay, so what they are asking is, what is the profit percentage or loss percentage that he will finally get. Okay, so finally what is the effect? What is the effect of all these percentage changes? Okay, guys, you know very well, whenever there is a percentage change, okay, what you do is, so you see here they've given 35% increase, then 10% decrease, and then 15% decrease. You can take this any which way you want. If you remember my percentages class, I would have talked about successive division formula. Okay, so for those of you who don't remember it, it goes something like this: A plus B plus AB by 100. So this is successive change formula. Okay, now here you just take, what you do is take any two values, apply to this formula, you'll get a final value, right? So let's suppose you get X percentage. Okay, now take these two values, take X percentage and take the third value, and then do the same thing, apply it in this formula, because in the formula at a time you can only use two values. Okay, so that is the reason what we do is, we are taking two values at a time. So out of three we take two, get the answer, and then we take these two and get the answer. So that is how simple it is, guys. So we'll see what we are getting. So 35 and 10, if you take 35 and 10, what happens is, it becomes, because it is increase, it is plus 35. Because it is decrease, it is minus 10. And you will get minus 350 divided by 100. So which in turn will be like 21.5%. So you got X. So you have to do this and this. Okay, this 21.5% is gain percentage. This is decrease percentage. So you have to apply it accordingly. So what will happen is 21.5% minus 15 minus 21.5 into 15. So what you will get is, you will get 322.5 by 100. So this is what you will get, guys. So which in turn gives you 21.5 minus 15 is actually 6.5. This minus 3.225, which is 3.275%. And because we have a positive sign here, this is 2.75% profit. A showroom offers 10% discount on a microwave whose mark price is 8,000 and also gives a blender worth rupees 1,200 as a complimentary gift with it. Even then, the showroom earns a profit of 20%. The cost price per microwave is, guys, this is again very simple, even though it may seem like very difficult thing. the mark price, okay, look at MP. What is MP? The mark price is actually 8,000. Okay, now they give you a 10% discount. Okay, so what does it mean? You have to multiply it by 90 by 100. So if you do this, you will get 7,200, which is the selling price, right? You apply the discount to mark price, you will get selling price. We've already seen this. Okay, so sounds that 7,200 is the selling price. But what happens is they see. Look at this. They give. This is what they're trying to say. They're trying to say they also give a blender worth rupees 1,200 as complimentary gift. So this amount of 1,200, okay, this amount, you see this 1,200, this 1,200, where do you think this 1,200 is being accommodated for in the price? It is not accommodated. It is a loss for the company, right? This 1,200 rupees, he says it is worth 1,200. Okay, they may sell it for 1,500. By that, what I mean, they may sell the blender for 1,500, but the worth of that blender is 1,200. So by giving that blender away, they are losing 1,200 rupees. So what will happen is you have to subtract the 1,200 with this selling price, because this selling price also contains what? It also contains a profit. So by giving 1,200, they are reducing their profit by 1,200. Yes, so you just have to subtract 1,200 to selling price. Okay, so what happens is here I'll do 7,200 minus 1,200, which will give me 6,000. This value, guys, 6,000 is the final selling price. In spite of doing all this giving away discount, what do they say? They have a profit of 20%. So what is the cost price? Okay, so finally by selling it at 6,000, they have a profit of 20%. Now you know how to find the cost price, right? It is very easy. So cost price increased 20% is selling price. Yes, so this is how we've been doing all this while. So you just have to do this cost price into 120 by 100 is equal to 6,000, and my final answer will be, guys, 5,000. Now, a man bought 400 meters of cloth at rupees 40,000 and sold it at the rate of rupees 200 per 1.5 meters. What is his percentage profit or loss? Now, I would suggest you to do this on your own, guys, because we've already seen this. But anyway, do this on your own and then come back and check the answer. See, a man bought 400-meter cloth for rupees 40,000. Okay, at the rate of 200. See, he sells at rupees 200 for 1.5 meters. Okay, so what happens? So his selling price for 1 meter. Okay, so you have to make sure the meters all here. It is 4. If you look at it here, it is 400 meters. Here it is 1.5 meters. Okay, so you cannot equate the cost price and the selling price this way. You have to make sure that the quantity is the same, right? So that is how we find the profit or loss percentage. So how do you make the quantity same? So selling price for 1 meter will be equal to what? So selling price for 1 meter will be equal to, it is, if for 200 for 1.5 meters, so for 1 meter it is so for 1 meter's case it is 200 for 1 meter. It is 200 into 2 by 3. Okay, so this will give you the answer, and I suppose it comes to around 133.33. Okay, so this is what it comes to around. Now this is for SP for 1 meter. What is CP for 1 meter, guys? CP for 1 meter is actually See, 40,000 for 400 meters. So for 1 meter it is 100, right? That is how simple it is. So 40,000 for 400 meters, for 1 meter it is 100. So now can you see what is the percentage profit? Obviously he is getting a profit, and for just by looking at the numbers, okay, so cost price is 100, selling price 133.33. So just by looking at the numbers, guys, so I will be able to tell you that the profit percentage is nothing but 33.33 percentage. The printed price on a book is 400. The bookseller offers 10% discount on it. If he still earns a profit of 20%, then the cost price of the book is. So I hope you get the answer correct for this. Again, very easy one. The printed price is 400. The bookseller offers 10% discount on it. So what do you do? 400 into 90 by 100. This will give you 360. Okay. Now if he still earns a profit of 20%, so by selling it at 360, he still earns a profit of 20%. So what does it mean? It means the cost price when increased by 20 percentage. How do you increase it by 20 percentage? You get this, okay, 360. So your cost price is nothing but 300. Okay. A vendor purchases 12 binder clips for rupees 60. How many clips must he sell for rupees 60 for him to make a profit of 20%? This is just a variation of the unequal quantity formula. Okay, so just look at how I'm doing this. Very easy. So what is given? So given is a vendor purchases 12 binder clips for rupees 60. So cost price of 12 clips, guys, is equal to selling price of how many clips? This is what they are asking you. Okay, so you can see it, right? You can see here that he sells at rupees 60, he buys at rupees 60. So what does it mean? It means the cost price is the same as the selling price. So the cost price and selling price are the same. The only thing I told you, when cost price and selling price are different, the reason why you get profit per, he gets a profit of 20%. The reason is because this and this are unequal. Okay, this 12 and this question mark won't be equal. If it is equal, then he won't get a profit. So obviously you have to find. How do you find it? You know the formula, right? The formula is pretty simple. So it is buying quantity minus selling quantity divided by selling quantity is equal to 20. So why do I write 20? Because we know that the profit percentage is 20%. So we are already given that. So we write 20. But what we don't know is the selling quantity. We know the buying quantity is 12. Okay. We don't. So what we do, 12 minus x divided by x is equal to 20. So which will give me, if x goes, that's it, 12 minus x is equal to 20x. So yeah, so here what I missed is 100. So multiply it by 100. So you will have here 100x and here 1200. And what happens is this goes that way, and you will end up with 1200 is equal to 120x. So finally x, guys, will be equal to 10. So the number of clips that he must sell is 10. So he must sell 10 clips to get a profit of 20%. So the mark price of the quote was 40% less than the suggested retail price. So MP was 40% less than the so here we say we have a suggested retail price. Okay, it was 40% less. So when it comes to percentage, you start by doing percentages. When it comes to percentage, you start by doing percentages. When it comes to percentage, when you so let's assume it to be 100. Okay, so we assume it to be 100. So let us assume the retail price, the initial retail price that they were talking about is 100. Now what they say is it is for the mark price of a quote was 40% less than the suggested retail price. So the mark price is 40% less, right? So how much is the mark price, guys? Mark price is 60. Yes. Now Isha purchased the quote for half the mark price at 50th anniversary sale. Now what percent less than the suggested retail price did the Isha pay? So what is half of this? So what is the selling price? So the selling price is actually half of this, which becomes 30. Okay, so what percent less than this did she pay? What percent less than the retail price? It is 70%, right? It is 70% less than the retail price. So the final answer is actually 70%. So 70% less than retail price is what she paid. So that's it, guys. So meet you in another session.